Have you ever woken up on a peaceful morning, only to realize your body is acting as if you're running from something that isn't even there? If that question hits something inside you, then this is the story I want to tell. I remember the morning vividly. Nothing was unusual. Sunlight slipping through my blinds, the sound of cars on the street below, the quiet breeze drifting into my room. A perfectly normal morning, at least for the world outside. But inside me, nothing was normal. The moment I opened my eyes, my heart was pounding, loud, fast, desperate, as if trying to warn me about a danger I couldn't see. I tried taking a deep breath, but the air stopped halfway in my chest. My body tightened, my stomach dropped, and a cold, shapeless fear wrapped itself around me. I sat up and whispered to myself, "What's happening to me?" But there was no answer. I still went to work. I still smiled, still typed, still talked, still nodded in meetings. But behind the mask I was unraveling. While people around me were discussing plans and strategies, I was listening to the frantic beat of my own heart. Every task came with a storm of invisible whispers. What if I mess up? What if I lose control? What if something terrible happens today? I knew those thoughts weren't real, but they felt real. Then came the night. It arrived like a storm crashing through a quiet room. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, when suddenly, without warning, my chest tightened violently. My heart exploded into a terrifying rhythm. My breath vanished. My hands shook uncontrollably. And in that moment of raw panic, one thought filled my entire mind. I'm going to die. I stumbled out onto the balcony, gripping the railing as if it could hold me together. I fought for air, but my body kept shutting down. When my friend arrived, I was barely holding on. And then, just as suddenly as it came, the chaos began to calm. My breathing slowed. My heart eased. But the fear stayed, sharp and lingering. Tests at the hospital showed nothing wrong. Everything normal, everything fine. The doctor simply said, it was a panic attack, likely caused by anxiety. I walked out unsure whether to feel relief or fear. In the days that followed, I became terrified of my own body. A fast heartbeat meant danger. A shallow breath meant another attack. I lay awake at night listening to the sound inside my chest, afraid something might break. Then one night, desperate, I called my sister, who works in mental health. She looked at me for only a few seconds and asked, "You feel anxious the moment you wake up, don't you?" I nodded. "You know your thoughts don't make sense, but you can't stop them, right?" Another nod. She sighed softly and said, "This is anxiety, not weakness. You're exhausted." And then she taught me how to step out of the spiral. First, breathe. Not normal breathing, slow, controlled breathing. In for 4 seconds, hold for 7, out for 8. Second, write. She told me to put every fear down on paper, because fears are louder in the mind than on a page. Third, reduce stimulation. Less caffeine, less screen time. Give the brain space to heal. Fourth, move. Just a 15-minute walk every afternoon, so my body remembered it wasn't tracked. Fifth, self-reassurance. Hand on my chest, whispering to myself, "It's just anxiety. It will pass." Not one day, not 1 week, but slowly, something inside me shifted. One warm afternoon I sat on a park bench. The wind brushed against my face, leaves rustled above me, and the sound of children laughing drifted through the air. And in that moment, small and fragile, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. Not a miracle, not a cure, but a beginning. I realized that I hadn't escaped anxiety. I had learned how to walk out of its shadow. Not through strength, not through forcing myself, but through gentle, patient steps. A breath, a pause, a quiet moment of telling myself I was safe. And if you're listening to this, if you're caught in that same invisible storm, if your chest tightens and your thoughts race with no warning, I want you to know you can step out of it. Not all at once, but slowly, softly, breath by breath. You're not lost. You're not weak. You're healing. And one day, just like I did, you'll find your way out.